welcome to part 7 season 2 of What If Midoriya Was an AFO Fan. I just wanted to greet you guys by just saying, sit back and relax, you're in for a treat. So, we begin. Izuku Shigaraki, son of All for One. That's gonna take some getting used to. A bright light shone into Tactic Kill's black and glowing green eyes as he laid out on a medical bed in Yujiko's new lab. Yujiko nodded as he thoroughly examined Tactic Kill's eyes and scars. Well, young master, it is as I feared. Your body simply wasn't meant to withstand having the combination of quirks that you have. Decay seems to be preventing your body from healing any scar tissue. Even if you were to lose an arm, the regenerated limb would still exhibit the scars. In short, any form of laceration or puncture wounds will only heal so far. They will always leave behind a scar. Yujiko paused, going over more medical notes. As he waited, Tactic Kill traced a finger over his scar across his eye. Flashes of Inko's enraged face appeared in his head as she was the hero who did this to him. Inko inflicted this wound on his face, and according to Yujiko, not even regeneration could rid Tactic Kill of this mark of shame. Sighing, Yujiko continued his diagnosis of Tactic Kill. On the subject of your regeneration, it seems the reason you experience so much pain when using the quirk is because both it and the decay quirk are polar opposites, and it would seem you are experiencing the pain of decay attacking the newly regenerating cells. Due to your regeneration increasing your natural healing factor, the pain of healing is far more noticeable to you than that of your brother, who actually suffers the same side effect, just not on this grand of a scale. Tactic Kill grunted, clearly displeased by this news, but he knew what he was signing up for when he demanded Yujiko perform these highly experimental and unethical procedures. Looking at the clipboard detailing how his body regenerates and decays due to both quirks attacking each other when using regeneration, it seemed that one note of worth was that large doses of adrenaline seemed to allow the villainous teen to ignore the pain. Is that everything, Yujiko? Or is there more to tell me about my quirks? I have to know what I'm dealing with here before I go train to control my decay quirk better, and maybe some weapons training too after. Toga won't stop hounding me to learn to use a knife. Spinner demands I learn how to hold a sword, and Mustard, well, he's at least subtle and nice about implying I should get educated in gunplay. Yujiko sat in a chair beside Tactic Kill's bed, pulling up clipboards on the newly adopted boy's other 4 quirks. I wish we were done. Although some of this is good news if that makes this any better, young master. Let's finish off with the bad. Due to the erasure quirk finally completely implementing itself into your quirk genealogy, thanks to both your pack data and Pentagonist's blood donations, your eyes have become permanently black whilst your pupils and iris seem to glow this bright green color. Normally this wouldn't be a problem, but I've looked at it from every possible angle. You can no longer go out in public without being recognized by this distinct feature. Even according to simulations, if you had a disguise quirk, your eyes would always stay the same. Your best hope is wearing specialized eyewear and never taking the eyewear off when incognito. Now for the clone quirk, it seems to be draining from you, likely because it itself is a clone of the original quirk and will eventually time out. You'll have the quirk for about 3 days before it's gone. Carefully lifting a hand mirror with telekinesis, Tactic Kill looked at his reflection and new eye color and glow. It'd be a lie if he didn't think the scars plus the eye glow didn't make him look more like a legitimately intimidating villain. Yet the fact his clone quirk was draining away was worrying. Now onto the good. First up, your telekinetic wrath. After running it through every database on the island, I discovered, as both me and Master theorized, you have the strongest telekinetic quirk on the planet so far. With telekinetic wrath alone, you would be an S-ranked villain, but with all the quirks you've got, if you master them all to the same level as your telekinesis, you'll be one of the few SS-rank villains, just like Master. Now we move on to your lie detection quirk. It would seem it's bonded to you and accepted you as its new user happily, likely due to you receiving it so early on, giving your body time to adjust to having it. Okay, young master, we're done with your checkup. Send in the next in line so I can get a good estimate on how they're doing. Redressing himself in a suit and tie, Tactic Kill left the lab mumbling a thank you towards Yujiko, a rare courtesy the third in command ever showed the man. Walking through the blast door, Tactic Kill scowled towards Gyro, who had an ear jack in the wall with Toga and twice behind her, hounding her to tell them what was going on. The 3 quickly withered under the glowing eyesight of the League's third in command. Judging by Tactic Kill's frown, the 3 were in for a lecture later, but right now the scar-covered teen wasn't in the mood to play teacher and educate the 3 on doctor-patient confidentiality. Next to head in for their medical evaluation was Toga. The waiting line outside Yujiko's lab was fairly long, but at least a few people had already been seen. Said individuals being Mustard, Shinso, Minta, and Hagakure. Heading to the testing floor, Tactic Kill proceeded to take out every last bit of aggression on testing drones, using only his decay quirk, trying to gain complete mastery over it and bend the quirk to his will. After arduous hours of training, someone started clapping as Tactic Kill's breathes grew into heavy pants with sweat coming from his brow. Turning around was a clapping Dabai. Toya, how are we feeling? I trust Yujiko had good news for you regarding your new elemental immunity quirk. Dabai growled at Tactic Kill, blasting him with a torrent of blue fire only for the fires to part around the teenage tactician. Will you quit using my actual name? Toya Todoroki is dead, just like Izuku Midoriya is. Now to answer your question, yeah, it turns out my body bonded pretty well with the quirk. I can shrug off electrical, water, fire, and ice quirks easily. What are you up to, Izuku? Besides turning most of the training bots into dust. Sighing and putting his gloves back on, Tactic Kill walked over to Dabai whilst wiping sweat from his brow. If you must know, I was training my decay quirk so I can gain a bit more control over it, but I'm not getting anywhere fast. And it freaking sucks worse than that walking dumpster fire endeavor. Nodding along to Tactic Kill's need to vent his annoyances. Something Dabai had grown to understand the telekinesis mastermind needed to do from time to time. Giving Tactic Kill a pat on the shoulder, Dabai began to chuckle a little at the endeavor comment. By now a passing Tamura decided to poke his head in and observe the two. You know, Izuku, why don't you do what you did to get the quirk in the first place? Use that nerdy brain of yours and come up with a surgery that gives you control. Hell, Golden Fox might even want it, if it works. God knows how many things he's accidentally disintegrated. Rounding the corner, Tamura cleared his throat behind Dabai. You dust one coffee mug, early in the morning at 5 a.m. and you'll never live it down. But he has a point, little brother. If anyone is smart enough to come up with a surgery that can grant full control of decay, it's you, Izuku. By the way, our master wanted to see you later this evening. Wouldn't say why. Tamura shrugged at his younger brother as he delivered the news. Izuku nodded and left for the newly installed locker rooms for the male personnel of the league. After using the assigned keycard, a feature that he would like to say was suggested by the girls, but really it was never up for debate. Tactic Kill walked in to find Mustard, Shinso, and Minded debating who was the best-looking girl they've ever met. Izuku smiled a little, wishing he could join in, but he couldn't. Not because he intimidated them or because he was all for one's son, nor was it that Tactic Kill was third in command of the entire league. No, it was the undeniable fact that Izuku Shigaraki was terrible at guy talk. As Tactic Kill opened his locker, again using his keycard, another feature forced on him by the girls, just like the keycard locks on the bedrooms, and if you lost your keycard and wanted a replacement, only 3 people could issue new ones: Yujiko, Izuku, and All for One, all of which had lie detection quirks. Tactic Kill examined the insides of his locker with approval. First to catch Tactic Kill's glowing eyesight was a wonderful little souvenir he requested personally, Edshot's mouth guard. Then a little poster of All Might with his eyes clawed out, and finally was Izuku's villain journals, his pride and joy. As the teen looked at the first journal and flipped to his idol's page, Tactic Kill couldn't help but grin at All for One's signature. Eventually Tactic Kill was broken from his focus as he heard his name being yelled. Izuku. Hey Izuku, you there, man? Well, you look rough. You've been training too hard again, haven't you? Come on, man, relax with us. Who do you think is the best-looking girl you've met so far? Minta pestered Izuku for answers as the pint-sized villain put his goggles away into his own locker, whilst Mustard sat cross-legged on the bench looking at Izuku expectantly. Shinso packed away his gear before mumbling at Minta. Give it up, Minta. Trust me, Izuku isn't into stuff like girls. I tried the whole bonding over guy stuff like this back when we were learning stealth stuff off Edshot. I got nothing from him. Shinso closed his locker and glanced at Izuku, who looked at the ground slightly dejected. You give up way too easy, you 3. Izuku definitely has a type, and I know who. The problem is, I won't betray my best friend like that. Kamakiri chuckled, pulling Izuku into a playful headlock, causing the usually cold green-eyed teen to finally laugh like a normal teenager, something he'd been neglecting to do for a while now. Akami, come on, man, I thought we were bros, and bros share info. Don't be stingy with the goods, man. Come on, we're dying here. Mustard joined in with the joking and laughter with the fellow teenage villains. He didn't feel so alone in this world anymore. He didn't feel unappreciated. Izuku was right about the league being like family. Ha ha ha. Alright, I'll tell you guys who I kinda find okay looking. On 2 conditions. Number 1, get all the guys. If I'm spilling, so are the rest of you guys. Number 2 is we're doing this thing in my room so we can relax in peace, quiet, in an environment where I can truly be comfortable. The guys looked around, a little caught off guard by Izuku's sudden dropping of the all-powerful, cold and vicious leader Tactic Kill persona. Once the shock had set and they were hit with the rest of what he said and started texting. Dude, nobody except you. Yujiko and the big boss All for One have been in your room. You sure were allowed, and you're cool with all of the guys heading in there. Izuku nodded happily, finally relaxed enough to stop being his villain self for a little while and just be a relatively normal teenager again. Nice to see you coming out of your social shell after your surgery, young Master Izuku. Don't worry about Master All for One's requested meeting. I'll ask him if it can be rescheduled for tomorrow. You all have fun. Kurogiri seemed to cheerfully speak up as he entered through a warp gate likely to fetch Izuku. Midroll, D&D channel. Before we get back to the video, I'd like to talk about our new channel Celestia, our channel dedicated to all things Dungeon and Dragons. Currently, we have a series breaking down the different spells in D&D, and soon we'll be starting some new series as well, so if you're a fan of D&D or have an interest in learning about it, check it out. Additionally, if there is something you've always wanted to see get made into a video, head over there and leave a comment mentioning it. With all the male members of the league gathered at Izuku's room, they all waited with bated breath as the door opened for Izuku's keycard. Smirking, Izuku watched as everyone walked into his room single file as he stared them down with erasure, making sure Hagakure or Toga didn't sneak into this guy's only party. Being certain they hadn't, Izuku flipped the light switch revealing his room. Maps of Japan covered the walls along with sketches of infamous villains, but besides all that, the room didn't seem all that different from a normal teenager's room. Alright guys, let's go around the room. So that means Daba, you go first. Then twice, Mineta, Monoma, Ida, Mustard, Shinso, Kamakiri, Spinner, Compress, Gentle Criminal, Tamura, and then me. Izuku sat down on the couch in his room as everyone made themselves comfortable. Right, fine. I guess I kinda find you, oh god, do I have to? Ugh, fine. I might find that burnin' girl easy on the eyes. Dabai groaned, being forced to answer. Honestly, I think Ms. Joke is okay. What? No, I didn't mean that. Twice muttered in equal parts shame and pride. Men of taste, but if you ask me, I kinda think Momo Yaorazu is the best I've met. Mineta nodded along, keeping his hand on his chin as if he were some kind of connoisseur. If we're all being seriously honest on this, I guess I kinda liked Kendo before I joined the league. Monoma shrugged, looking at the others wistfully. Personally, I find this entire conversation beneath me, but if I had to pick someone, I guess the spy for the MLA, Mei. Ada begrudgingly contributed, still donning his Inquisitor villain costume. She may not be my age, but I gotta admit she is pretty good looking and I do see her as an idol. Lady Nagant. Mustard's answer got a few murmurs and a whistle, embarrassing the gas-masked teenager. I don't get you guys. How can you ignore the fact? The best-looking girl is obviously a member of our league, Hagakure. Seriously, how? Shinso jokingly shouted out his opinions at the others, mainly those his age. Shinso, you are just talking out your ass, man. Sure, she was our enemy and we had to fight and kill her, but come on, you guys have to admit Slice looked pretty good. More murmurs went around the room, followed by a few nods. HMPH, I can't believe I agreed to this. But the hero Mandalay is okay, I suppose. Spinner growled out. I wish there was someone I found of interest. Honestly, I do, but there isn't anyone I see as all that attractive. Currently, Compress removed his hat and held it down, bowing slightly apologetically. I'm afraid a true gentleman never kisses and tells, and before you assume, no, I do not see La Brava in that manner. I care for her, make no mistake, but not romantically. Gentle Criminal smirked as he sipped from Nezu's stolen teacup. Izuku, can I not answer like Gentle did? Ugh, fine Mirko. Happy. Yeah, laugh it up, I can't help it that she fights so aggressively and viciously. And I find that to be cool and a little attractive. I'd still dust her in a second if she stood in my way. Tamura hung his head only to have his brother smirk at him and punch him gently in the shoulder. Alright guys, I will say what I'm gonna say, and we're all making a pact. What was said in this room dies with us. We never speak of it again. Everyone fine with that? Good. Okay, I guess if I'm telling the truth, I find Kyoka okay. Yeah, big surprise for some of you. And no, that's not why she's my second in command. If you want to take her place, you're welcome to try and beat her in 1v1 combat. Phoenix Squadron only. Izuku caved in, admitting what he truly thought, and he allowed what was left of his humanity to shine through when spending time with his new family, the League of Villains. Later on, the next morning, Izuku sat at the bar with two slightly hungover villains, Tamura and Dabai. Kurogiri shook his head at the groaning duo pouring them their daily coffee as Mineta brought out breakfast for everyone in the league. As Izuku drank some tea which Gentle Criminal had been ever so kind as to share, the green-haired teen went through the news app on his phone, finding that there was still nothing mentioned about All Might's death. Not wanting his meal to go cold, Izuku thanked Mineta and began to eat whilst changing to an app filled with notes on biochemistry and bioengineering. He'd constantly examine notes on quirk genes in the hands of what was quoted coldly as the subject, smirking as he finished his final pancake. Izuku stood up, tucking his phone into his pocket. For hours, Yujiko's lab was marked off as a no entry and do not disturb zone. Until it was complete, Izuku was reborn. His clone quirk was forcefully and painfully removed, and his physical upgrades were updated along with his all-new villain outfit. Most importantly, however, was Izuku's newest addition, an upgrade the telekinetic teen had nicknamed the One for None upgrade. Although still incomplete, Tactic Kill could easily complete it himself once he had the correct tools, which thanks to his newest spies operating within the Shai Hasekai Yakuza group. The One for None upgrade currently allowed Izuku to disable and enable quirks within his body, such as his decay quirk. Now one issue remained at hand. As Yujiko stuffed his equipment into his medical bag, he hurriedly walked toward the door, only for it to activate lockdown procedures for that door. Only 3 people could undo a lockdown on a door, and he wasn't one of them. The sound of a warp gate opening and two figures walking from it echoed behind him as Tactic Kill rose from his medical bed, securing his helmet to his face, his glowing eyes shining through the two retractable lenses. Tactic Kill pulled Yujiko back using a single finger. Whatever is the hurry, doctor? Don't you wish to marvel at your handiwork on young Izuku as any proud doctor should? Unless you have somewhere to be. All for One cackled from under his own black helm. Slowly, two warp gates opened beside All for One, Tamura, and Tactic Kill. From them emerged Meihatsum and Chronostasis. You upstart little monster. Even my Namu are more human than you are, Izuku Midoriya. You may be one of All for One's little favorites, but let's see you survive after this. Yujiko cackled madly like a cornered animal as he pressed a button on his phone only for error symbols to cover the phone. Then a pixelated coffee mug covered his screen with a heart marked on it and a skull inside the heart. Tactic Kill looked at Yujiko as a small chip covered in blood danced in his fingers. All for One nodded as Tamura laughed, knowing what was coming, whilst Mei and Chronostasis took notes on their creation, the world's first ever manufactured true quirk. Tactic Kill's eyes glowed brighter and a similar black and green glow began to shine through Yujiko's goggles. Yujiko slowly reached into his pocket, pulling a handgun, and aimed it against his head, hand shaking. A bang echoed through the lab as Yujiko's corpse fell to the floor. Outro. Thank you all for indulging yourselves in all this information thus far. I hope you enjoyed it. Now, there are a few more things that I'd like to go over before the video ends. Firstly, if you're in the mood for some great storytelling, We The Celestials has got you covered. Are We The Celestials, My Hero Academia, and Naruto What If channels retell the story of their namesake anime with a twist. Check it out if you're interested. Secondly, on behalf of We The Celestials, I'd like to thank everyone involved in the production of today's awesome content. Their details can be found in the description below. Lastly, if you're interested in what we do here at We The Celestials, then I'd like to extend you an invitation to join the team. The only caveat being that we only accept members from 16 years and up to join our crew. You can sign up for whichever category fulfills your interests by joining the recruitment Discord using the link in the description below. We're always looking for members to join us. Well, that's it from us for today's video. So thank you all for watching and have a great day.